What is going on, everyone? My name is Tim Williams. We're here to break down tonight's gigantic 14-game MLB slate over on DraftKings. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that button right below, subscribe to the channel. We're going to go through each and every one of these games. We're going to break it down, hitting, pitching, some of my favorite stacks for tonight. There's going to be some little bit of weather, but I think for the most part, we are good to go. So let's just jump right in here. First, we have the Braves Phillies here. Phillies are favorited at home, 7.5 over under. You have Fried taking on Wheeler. Fried 8.1K. I think the price is fair. Matchup's okay. 23% strikeout rate. Really just tries to get the ground balls here. 47% ground ball rate. I don't know if he has that major upside ceiling that we're going to see with a lot of these pitchers on the slate, but I think he goes under owned here. And then on the other side, Wheeler, 9.8K. Probably one of my favorite pitchers tonight. He's just been kind of elite this year. The strikeout rate is massive, 31% strikeout rate. I really do like that. 49% ground ball rate. That being said, I'm not really interested in a ton of Braves bats tonight. And then same with the Phillies too. I don't mind McCutchen at 3.6K. I think he provides a lot of upside for that point per dollar value. So next game we have is the Nationals Orioles, 10 over under here. Nationals are favorited. Corbin taking on Lopez. Corbin, 6.9K. Just been kind of up and down this whole season. 17% strikeout rate here. Don't really love that. 8.8% walk rate. Gives up plenty of hard contact. And then on the other side, Lopez, 6K. 21% strikeout rate here. Not bad for that price, right? Super tough matchup. 10% walk rate here. Gets enough ground balls here about 50% of the time. But like Corbin, gives up a ton of hard contact. The Nationals are one of my favorite stacks, I think, in this game, in this beautiful ballpark. Soto at 5.6 at the top. I think he's fairly cheap or appropriately priced. Turner 5.7. Again, like him here, Bell, Harrison, Escobar. There's ways to stack this team fully. So I will definitely be playing some of these Nationals tonight. And then on the other side with the Orioles, I don't mind getting here either. Corbin, it's 50-50, right? Like we saw yesterday with Montgomery facing the Red Sox, he's either going to have a good night or a bad night. So that is Corbin here. I'm probably going to stay away from him. I don't mind some of the Orioles bats. Hayes at 2.8, my favorite value play. Mancini, Severino at times can hit lefties pretty hard. Mullins as well. So definitely leaning towards the Nationals in this one. Next, we have the Cardinals Reds here. Reds favorited 9.5 over under. LeBlanc taking on Mali. LeBlanc, no interest here. I don't think he's going to go very far into this game. Tough matchup for him. Mali, 9.3K, 28% strikeout rate, 8.7% walk rate, which is, kind of concerning. Cardinals have a decent hitting team, right? And then Mali himself, he's given up a 253 ISO against right-handed batters. The Cardinals are full of right-handed power bats, so really like the Cardinals here tonight as well. Goldschmidt 5.2, Arenado 5.6, Carlson, nice value hitting up top. O'Neill always has that power potential at 3.9, so I really do love the Cardinals. And then on the other side, I'm definitely interested in the Reds as well. They are favorited here. Aquino 2.8, I think will be popular, has a lot of upside against lefties. Suarez, Winker, Votto, India, I think they're fair. I think they're priced just about right. Not my favorite stack here, but I think they're definitely in play. Next, we have the Padres Marlins, 8 over under here. Padres favorited. Musgrove taking on Thompson. Musgrove 8.4K. Has been pretty good overall. I think better in real life than in DFS here. I definitely have some interest because of the matchup against the Marlins. He does have about 30% strikeout rate, 46% ground ball rate. He hasn't been good the last outing, and has just been kind of inconsistent since the whole crackdown on the sticky stuff. But I think he's a good pitcher. I think he has the potential to strike a lot of guys out tonight. So I'm definitely interested. And then Thompson on the other side, what seems like he's been starting for like the last 3 games, should be going tonight, 8.8K, 26% strikeout rate, just a really tough matchup. Not interested. Padres bats for sure. I think they're one of the top stacks. Tatis at the top, 6.1. I think that's fair. 365 ISO against right-handed pitching this year. Grisham, Machado, Cronenworth. I think there is some good value there, particularly with Grisham. Marlins have a pretty decent bullpen here, though, so kind of tread lightly, but I think they're up there as far as some of the top stacks go for tonight. Next, we have the Blue Jays Mets, 8.5 over under here. Mets favorited. Matt's taking on McGill. Matt's 7.1K. I think that's fairly cheap. Tough matchup. The Mets don't strike out a ton, but he has a 24% strikeout rate. Does a good job getting the ground balls 47% of the time. And then his opponent, McGill, just too priced up. He has looked pretty good. Small sample size, about 28% strikeout rate. Just a bad matchup here. Really like the right-handed bats for the Blue Jays. Springer at 4.5, Vlad 5.7K, 397 ISO against right-handed pitching so far this season. Semien, Bichette, probably one of the lower prices you're going to ever see him at 4.8K. That is pretty nice value. Hernandez seems to just find a way to hit the ball at 4.1, so that's pretty nice as well. And then on the other side, I know it's Mats, and Mats can actually have pretty good games here, so I don't mind Mats. The only Matt I'm really interested tonight would be Alonso at 5.8, kind of a spend up, but 324 ISO against left-handed pitching this season. So interesting game for sure. Next, we have the Yankees Red Sox here. 8.5 over under. Sox favorited tonight. Chance for some pop-up showers. Nothing too crazy. Maybe a delay that we saw last night too, but so keep that in mind as far as the pitching goes. Cole up top, the most expensive pitcher at 10K, 35% strikeout rate. Last two starts, he's looked pretty damn good, 35 and 50 DraftKings points. Seems to be fine, seems to have figured it out without the sticky stuff here. So I have some interest, right? And then on the other side, Rodriguez, 8.3, 27% strikeout rate, 38, 28, 23 DraftKings points in his last 4 outings. I do have some interest. The Yankees lineup is a little bit watered down, but just in general, and you're going to see a lot of these names on the bats for each team. They're just too cheap. DraftKings is really, tempting you to like play these guys. Stanton at 3.9 is insanely cheap. Sanchez 4.3, Torres, Allen's fine at 2.4 if he's in the lineup. And then on the Red Sox side, if Duran's in there, I really like him as a punt play at 2K. Martinez is way too cheap, 4K. Verdugo 3. Bogarts is under 5K. Hernandez has been hitting the ball well. So I think there's ways to kind of incorporate some of these bats in there. So I have interest. Next, we have the Rays Indians, 9 over under here. Rays are favorited. Fleming taking on Plesac. Fleming 6.8K, just not a ton of strikeout upside. He is a fine pitcher, right? Better, more so in real life, 60% ground ball rate. And then Plesac on the other side, I think that's a cheap salary for him. The strikeouts aren't really there this season, 16% strikeout rate here, 52% ground ball rate. The Rays can strike out quite a bit, but they can also dominate this game. The 3 bats I really like are those power bats, Lau at 4.4, Meadows, Rosarina. And then on the other side, it's kind of just Ramirez tonight for me at 5.2, but probably not going to get to too much. Maybe some of these Rays, if I'm building 5-3 stacks, don't mind getting there. Next, we have the White Sox taking on the Brewers, 7.5 over under here. Brewers are favorited. Giolito taking on Peralta. Really love this pitching matchup here. Giolito at 9.6, Peralta at 9.9. Giolito, 29% strikeout rate here. He is a fly ball pitcher. Both of these pitchers kind of similar. Peralta, 35.8% strikeout rate, 12% walk rate. It does give up a lot of fly balls 50% of the time, but I don't think either pitcher is going to have any trouble with these lineups here. For the White Sox, you could get contrarian with a Sox stack and just kind of hopes like Peralta walks 5 guys and gives up a bomb. But I think it's risky. Both teams in general, their fly ball percentage isn't really that exciting for upside purposes. So just more interested in the pitching in this one. Next, we have the Rangers taking on the Astros, 8.5 over under. Allard taking on Odorizzi. Allard 5.5K, real cheap. 21.6% strikeout rate here, just a bad matchup. And then on the other side, Odorizzi, 8.5K, 19% strikeout rate here, 9% walk rate. Has looked okay at times during this season. Not really interested in a lot of these bats, to be honest. Gallo at 4.5, his price is coming back down. 275 ISO against right-handed pitching. And then on the other side, Astros, I think you can always stack them, right? Tonight, to me, they're just kind of a secondary play. Altuve at 5.3 has been mashing. He looks excellent. Correa 4.7, Brantley 3.6. Like Alvarez is in play, but Astros kind of struggling a little bit the last few games. But I think they're an interesting secondary option for me tonight. Next, we have the Tigers Royals 10.5 over under. This is going to be the juiciest game, I think, of the slate. Peralta taking on Bubik. Peralta 6.5, zero interest there. And then Bubik at 5K. I could see in GPPs why you'd want to take a shot on him because he is so cheap and it allows you to pay up for some bats. But 19.5% strikeout rate, not bad for a 5K pitcher. Does have that high walk rate, 12%. I actually really like the Tigers bats here. Grossman's been on fire. Scope has so much power upside. Haas, same thing, short as well. Tigers look pretty good. They are playing some really good baseball right now. So I definitely have some interest there. And then Royals as well, Santana, Perez, Benintendi, Soler, Dozier. Yeah, these guys are all in play for sure. I think this game has a really high ceiling, and I'm definitely interested in both sides of the plate. Next game we have to talk about here is the Angels and the Twins. The Twins said goodbye to Nelson Cruz. Apparently now, yeah, so he's gone. I still think the Twins are a good option here. Looks like Miguel Sano is just wearing Cruz's pants now, so that's a thing. 10 over under here. Angels are favorited. Cobb taking on Hap. Cobb 7.9. Originally had some interest here, but the Twins kind of match up pretty well even without Cruz. Cobb himself has been pitching pretty well. 25% strikeout rate, 54% ground ball rate. So I definitely could see why you'd have interest. And then on the other side, Hap, just not going to get there on a big slate like this at 6.1. As far as the Angels go, I think there's a lot of value there. Ohtani at 6.5, so expensive, right? I think there's ways you can get him in there, and I definitely have interest. And then Upton at 3.3, he's back. He went over 4 yesterday, but definitely a power threat there. And then on the other side, Kepler, Donaldson, Polanco, Larnach, these guys definitely in play, especially if you think Cobb is just going to kind of blow up. So some interest there. Twins bats maybe more secondary, but I have really the most interest in Ohtani if I can fit him in. Next game here, 8.5 over under. Pirates taking on the Giants. Giants favorited at home. Cool taking on Cueto. Not really interested in either pitcher in this one. Cool 6.6K, 18% strikeout rate, super high walk rate at 14%. Cueto has looked pretty decent this year, 20% strikeout rate here. I just don't think the Pirates strike out enough. I don't like the upside that Cueto can have in this one. So really more interested in the bats. Pirates, Reynolds at 3.8, cheap. Gamble 2.2, I don't mind it. Frazier 3.9, Nagowski 2.3, Polanco 2.8. A lot of guys that are super cheap and in a decent matchup that allows you to kind of fit up to get to those Nationals, get to the Royals, get to the Tigers, get to whoever, get to the pitching. And then on the other side, really love Wade at that price at 2.9. I think he has power upside here. Posey 5K, Yastrzemski 4.1, Dickerson 2.9. The Giants just said that they're possibly going to be interested in trading Joey Bart, which tells me that they are very interested in making a playoff push this season. So every game definitely counts. Next, we have the Rockies Dodgers 9 over under. Dodgers favorited. Chichi Gonzalez taking on Price. Chichi 5.3, zero interest there. Taking on the Dodgers, low strikeout guy, makes me very interested in Dodgers bats. Price at 6.3, I think he's the most interesting pitcher on this slate, right? Because he does have the track record, 24% strikeout rate. It's just how far can he get into this game? Can he go 5 innings? Can he go 6? I'll definitely be interested in that. I'm not worried about the Rockies bats at all. I'm more interested in the lefties, and they don't have too many. Blackman, if Tapia is healthy, I'm not sure. And then on the other side, Dodgers definitely have interest here. Taylor at 5.7, super expensive. Turner 6K. Like, I don't know if these guys are going to be highly owned. They're priced up, probably be for a good reason. Smith 5.1 at the catcher spot. Pollock, yeah, really nice spot here. Just really, really pricey. And then the final game here to talk about, A's taking on the Mariners, 7.5 over under. Montas taking on Kikuchi. Montas 8.7K is the favorite, 24% strikeout rate here. I think the price is fine. It's a pretty good spot for him. Definitely not like a priority, but I think he's interesting. And then same thing with Kikuchi. Like, not a priority. 7-8 is not a bad spot. These guys are going to be kind of low owned. At least Kikuchi will be 25% strikeout rate, 8% walk rate. As far as the bats go with the A's, they seem to be always like underpriced or overpriced. It just never really like works out. Olsen at 6'3", you're really paying up for him. Laureano at 4'6", I think is actually appropriately priced, but I have interest there. And then on the Mariners side, it's Seager, Haniger, but honestly, probably just not going to get there. There's too many other good spots, and these teams aren't necessarily all that stackable, especially on a 14-game slate. So that'll do it. My name's Tim Williams. If you made it this far, thank you. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and to get all this, free, beautiful content. Good luck tonight in your contest. Take it easy. Peace.